Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce, and this Inside Lowell podcast is coming to you from the Wellpoint Studios. Wellpoint, the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At Wellpoint, your whole health is their whole point. I am so excited for this podcast. It is long overdue. I feel like is an understatement at this point.
Right.
We have been trying to get here for a while.
Oh my gosh. I have two of my favorite people on. I'm not just saying that. You guys are awesome. I have Andee, Wilcott, and Rudy Dominguez from A+R Media Studio. How are you guys?
Doing great.
You guys are such a great team. You're a team in business and a team in life.
That's right.
Absolutely.
A&R against the world.
You make it look easy. We all know it's not, but you make it look easy.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about you guys and then what led you to start A+R Media Studio, and then we'll kind of dive more into the business.
Sure.
So we've actually been in business. This will be our 21st year in business.
Wow.
And back in last millennium, in the 90s.
As my kids say, the 1900s.
The 1900s.
Accurate.
Actually going into like the early 2000s, we were both working at different web agencies. And I was getting the agency I was working at, I wasn't doing any design. I was doing project management and QA. So I didn't really have a lot of creative outlet in that role. And I decided to go off on my own and start freelancing because design was really what I wanted to do. Luckily, Rudy kept his agency job during that transition.
So you were already together.
Yep, we were already together by that point. And we've been together for about 3 years at that point.
College sweethearts?
Post-college.
Post-college.
Actually.
Ooh, I'm learning something new.
Yeah. We met freshman year of college.
Okay, so you've known each other for even longer.
Yeah. So we like to say we've known each other for 38 years.
Oh my gosh.
36 years we've known each other. We've been friends for 27 years.
Wow.
We've been married for 18.
Mm-hmm. So we were dating.
Dating for 27 years.
Wow,
If
so
you count
incredible.
marriage is dating.
Yes. Sure. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so you were together.
Yep, so we're together.
You kept your agency job.
Yeah.
You freelanced.
And so, I started just freelancing and trying to pick up, different design projects here and there and different, website design projects, like really small scale for the most part. And as I started kind of, getting more and more work and getting more clients, all the more technical stuff was getting more challenging for me. So, Rudy would come home from like a full day of work and I'd be like, please, can you just work on this for a couple hours? So, he was pulling double duty for a while, working a full day and then coming home and, working like another half a day on helping me with my freelance projects. And then eventually we felt that it was the time to make the leap.
It is a leap.
We're building enough of a client base and getting enough projects in that it made sense to just go off on our own.
Wow. And that was almost 21 years ago?
Yeah. So I started freelancing in 2001 and we incorporated the business in 2004.
Wow.
So, and it was, the transition wasn't too bad, actually. We had a lot of luck in that the agency that Rudy worked for contracted him out a lot after he left.
Awesome.
You're just glossing over the whole my part of that.
Yeah, well, tell your story.
Sure. So I graduated as an aerospace engineer. I worked as a mechanical engineer for about 5 years before I got tired of engineering, corporate engineering.
Yeah.
There's a lot of paperwork and it really wasn't as creative as I wanted to be. So at that point, the web was really getting big and I decided that I was going to jump in. So I quit my engineering job.
Wow.
And for
that's another leap.
Mm-hmm. And for like a whole year, I didn't have a job, but Andee had a job.
Right.
That agency job. And so while I was kind of getting myself set up to be a web developer, she supported me. And then within a year, I had a job being a web developer that paid more than my engineering job when I had that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Like a lot more. It was,
wow.
and then I started doing a lot of specialty work. Flash. Do you remember Flash?
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
remember. I don't.
super animated
Yeah.
and it caught a lot of flack because you needed a plugin to use it, and it wasn't but it was interactive, and that's our favorite thing to do is interactive stuff. So I did that for a while until 2000. So you remember the bubble burst?
Yeah.
I didn't lose my job. I was one of the only people who landed on their feet and still ended up working there. But then they wanted me to stop doing all the interactive stuff. And I said, no, that's literally the only reason that I'm still here.
You're like, I quit my engineering job to do this interactive
I'm
stuff.
not, yeah. And they wanted me to be more technical and like, I was like, no,
go back to being an engineer.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of paperwork. I don't want to do that. So that's when she needed my help. So that's 2004.
Wow.
And so I quit my job, but I told them that I'd be happy to do interactive projects for them going forward. So, I wasn't burning a bridge. And they almost immediately called me to do just that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it
What a
worked
great
out really
story.
well.
Yeah, we did that for a couple of years before we really got going in the web space.
Right, and doing larger projects, bigger websites, and at the same time, we're also, we kind of created this brand around us that we were, the tiny agency for the big client and the big agency for the tiny client. So,
Right.
We, had enough agility to work with kind of larger companies, to come in and do a project for them faster, cheaper than the big agencies,
Yeah.
right? So, we had an opportunity did a lot of work with IBM. We did a lot of work with HBO. We got to do, work with Fidelity.
Wow, impressive
Forrester.
companies.
Yeah, some pretty big companies.
Yeah.
But, we're like the insurgent little team
Right.
that could get something done when nobody else could get it done.
So you live together, you work together, you work where you live where
Yep.
you work.
Yep.
Are you able to step away after a certain point in the day?
Yes, our office always has a door.
Great.
So we can close the door on the
Yeah.
office at the end of the day, move to a different part of the house. And that's the secret.
Yeah, we've done that from the beginning. We
Yeah.
always had a separate office.
Yeah.
No matter how tiny our apartment or house was, like the office had to be completely separate.
Yeah,
so
smart.
we could well, and also during the day we always tell people it's like, well, it's not like we're, on top of each other all day. We're each doing work.
Right.
So, we'll go like all morning without even talking to each other and then break for lunch and be like, oh, hey, how was your morning?
We worked on a project together, the Shop 978 that we did a
Right.
few years ago, and we were on Zooms and stuff. You were separate.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So they were in separate boxes.
well, and our office is set up kind of like like a police detectives, so like the two desks
Yeah.
like back each other, and then there's like giant monitors in between, so we don't even see each other
Yeah. Oh, it's
when
so
we're
funny.
in the office.
Right.
Your last names pair perfectly with Detective Wilcott, Detective Dominguez.
Dun dun.
I kind of like it.
That's hilarious.
How do you balance creativity and strategy?
From my perspective, it's kind of all one and the same, that, everybody says like, form follows function, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be creative without first defining your strategy, because you need those parameters in place so that you could explore the space within it in a creative way. So, a lot of our projects, it really starts with it always starts with strategy. You really have to know what you're about to do before you try and do it. So
Well, that's the only way you can measure how well it comes
Yeah.
out.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Very true.
You define the goals first, then implement beautifully, and then afterwards you measure to see how well you did. And
For somebody that is watching or listening and they're thinking, these are great people. I love the opportunity to potentially work with them. What would the process be like if somebody wanted to work with you?
So typically, it always starts with kind of an informational and discovery process
Yeah.
to really dig into what say they want, and then what we realize that they actually need. And so, we
Right,
go
those
through kind of
aren't
that,
the same.
yeah, not always the same
Not
thing.
always.
And going through that discovery process is really critical as a
Mm-hmm.
first step. And then depending on what it is, so if it's a website, we go through pretty specific phases all along because, a lot of it is just very linear. You can't get to step C without doing steps A and B. So we go through our discovery process, and for a website, that's figuring out, what you want the website to do, what the architecture is for the information architecture is going to be, what their current branding is. Does that need to be adjusted in any way? And then it goes into design. And so that's really just a back and forth. It's iterative, so we come up with concepts, we present them, and it's really, we always like to say that it's like, our expertise is in design and development, but your expertise is in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very collaborative endeavor because who your customers are, what your business does. You're the best person to describe that.
Mm-hmm.
And we take all of that and translate that into a digital presence. And then once it's designed, we build it out based on like all the steps we learned about at the beginning. And then, once everybody's happy with it, we flip the switch and it's live.
Flip the switch.
Yeah,
I love it.
the flipping the switch is always, even after all this time, satisfying and terrifying at the same time. Because, now it's out there. So,
Yeah. So fun. I could talk about like marketing and that all day long. And you're offering a lot of products for small businesses as well now. So you've put out a lot recently, which is great.
Yeah, we have. Over the last year, we felt that we always wanted to keep that balance between bigger projects with larger companies and smaller projects for smaller companies. And that was getting unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
And so we felt that kind of the best way to approach that was to really, take a deep dive into what that small business offering is and tailor it to a little bit more to what small businesses today really need. So we started a managed WordPress service. So what that means is basically you work with us to build your website, we get it hosted, and we manage it for you going forward. So
you don't have to do any of your any changes on your own unless you want to.
Yep. So you can if you have the capability. Yeah.
It's very it's a very straightforward interface that anybody can learn how to use.
Yep.
But if you don't want to, or you're too busy, hopefully, then you just call us and we get it done usually within a day.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
Right. And also, with a lot of content management platforms like WordPress, there's always update this, fix this, update that.
Yep.
And so we manage that process for them. So, they don't have to worry about their plugins being out of date or, things like that.
So you're not clicking ignore and hoping that everything doesn't just crash on you.
Exactly.
I'm not speaking from experience or anything. You have a seminar coming up, which is exciting.
So we're doing a seminar with the chamber on the 27th of August. And it's going to focus on kind of digital marketing 101 for small business. It's really just kind of walking people through like what are the pieces that go together to create your digital presence and how do you leverage all of those things to thrive online. So, and then a couple of days after that, we're actually doing that presentation again in Newton. We're doing a 3-part series in Newton in the fall. So September, October, and November with a colleague from an investment group that is kind of we call it the small business liftoff. And so, she does financial services for small business, and we do marketing for small business. So it's kind of a double team.
Ooh, what a
She'll
great
do
idea.
a presentation on topics surrounding financing for small businesses, and then I'll do marketing for small business.
Oh, that's great. And I'm sure some of the attendees will be drawn for both topics, and then some will be drawn for yours or
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
hers.
Right.
And then, you get them there. Yeah, that's such a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm super psyched for ours. Anytime we do anything on marketing, we always get a good crowd because it's just something that people know that they need to do. And
Well, and it's always changing. So it's
constantly.
You want to be able to, do what is relevant now versus what was relevant a couple of years ago.
I've shared this story before. I don't know if on the podcast, but I helped Middlesex Community College start their social media certificate program years ago. And so we would break it up into, a class on Facebook, a class, and we had the class on YouTube. So I get up, sit in front of the class, pull up my presentation, pull up YouTube, and YouTube had changed overnight.
Oh no.
So
I'm like, well, this is a little different. And so we learned together.
You said yesterday
Exactly.
a lot during that.
I know, isn't it crazy? But I mean, it shows how fluid things are and how quickly platforms in just the digital space is changing.
That's actually
on
part
a
of
whim.
what I like about the web is that there's always something new to learn.
Absolutely.
So if you want to stay relevant, you have to keep educating yourself.
Absolutely. And attending your seminar is a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What emerging digital strategies and technologies are you most excited about in terms of integrating it into your services, or just possibilities for small businesses to grow and expand?
Oh, well, I would think, for me, again, it's always interactives. Like, so for example, you mentioned Shop 978,
Yeah.
which we did. That was basically a giant map application where all of the businesses that were selling not Shop 978 items were listed on a map, and you can click in, move around, and then you would get more detail about the business itself, media about the business, and then click-throughs so that the businesses themselves would get virtual visits from customers. And it took maybe 8 weeks, something like that, to make that. But it uses JavaScript, which is a programming language, in order to do all the stuff. It's just regular HTML, so it works in all devices, desktop phones, tablets, and it has the creative aspect of it, of designing this great interface so that people want to use it.
You also at the same time did something, I forget what company it was for, but you made a lunchbox or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
It was so fun.
We had a project
Yeah.
with BJ's Wholesale several years ago, and it was basically we were part of a larger team that basically turned their print catalog, their flyer catalog, into a website, and added all these cool features to it. And we did a few different interactions. The bento box was definitely the most
fun.
So yeah, you had just a lunchbox, and you could just drop a little baby bell in there and drop some grapes on there, and then
and of course these were all products available at
that BJ's sold. And then when you were all done, you could post it to social, your lunchbox, your bento
directly
box.
from the interactive.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do anything weird. You could just say post to Facebook, and it would send it immediately to Facebook.
Yeah, it would take a snapshot of what you put together and save and send it on social. So that was a blast.
Yeah,
and we
it's
did
so unique.
Yeah, we did a few other interactives for that project. We did a cool application because they, all BJ's, they always had tons of recipes, right? So they have their whole recipe catalog.
Right.
And so we created an app that you got to pick all of your recipes, and then it would generate a shopping list based on the recipes that you picked. And of course, it's all stuff in store.
Yeah,
so then you had
awesome.
you had your shopping list to go into the store.
What a time
with.
saver.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I go to the grocery store and I just grab a bunch of random stuff and I go home and go, what am I gonna what am I gonna do with this? So
You-
very
You
smart.
should never go shopping hungry.
Yes,
That's how
that is
that
very
happens.
true. Well, I was thinking when you were talking about the bento box, I'm like, you're building this healthy box as like you're sitting there eating a cheeseburger, and then you're sharing it to Facebook.
Right.
Never know.
So I mean, obviously you're involved in the community through A&R, but you're also involved in two different organizations,
Oh yes.
Lowell Makes and the Lowell Kinetic Sculpture Race.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Big
have to
time.
talk about those.
Big time. Well, why don't you talk about
Oh, the,
Kinetic Sculpture
the race.
first, yeah.
Okay. So Lowell
Your
Kinetic-
passion project.
Yeah, no
every
doubt.
year.
No doubt. Lowell Kinetic Sculpture Race is a race that happens in Lowell every year. Starts in downtown, rides around all of Lowell, hits a couple of obstacle courses, which I'll get into in a second, and then comes back around to finish the race. But the race cars are kinetic sculptures, so they are people powered, so you have to pedal them, and you dress them up to look like some kind of theme, right? And so in 2018, we volunteered for the race to man the first obstacle or the second obstacle, which is a mud pit. So yes, you have to pedal on the road, and then you have to pedal in the mud, and then you also have to go into the Merrimack and float down river 200 feet or 300 feet.
Did you
like that.
pick the mud pit or did they put you in the mud pit?
No, everybody has to do it.
No,
Unless-
I mean for volunteering.
Oh,
you
no,
like
we
you were
picked
like
it.
we want the mud.
I want,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. Yeah, and we were the groomers to make sure that the mud was the
Oh my
same for
gosh.
everybody. But after that year, we're like, oh no, that was 2019.
Right, 2018 was the first time we saw
Saw
a
it,
race.
right.
We first learned about it, and then 2019 we volunteered, and then after Rudy was just like, we're doing this.
We're
Yeah.
doing this, and then COVID happened.
This is our life's mission.
And then COVID happened.
Ugh.
And so there was like 3
Yeah.
years where we were just chomping at the bit to do something. As soon as it came back, we jumped in with both feet, and we actually had a successful sculpture that year called Big Fish. It looked like the angler fish from Finding Nemo,
Yep.
the one with the teeth and the plate. And then the next year we did, which has been my passion project ever since, called the Aluminum Falcon Experience. And it's basically a 2-person vehicle that looks like the Millennium Falcon. And almost everything on it, not quite everything, is made out of aluminum. Hence the Aluminum Falcon.
Amazing.
And the experience is just the whole
Yeah, the whole kit and caboodle.
the whole kit and caboodle. So the first year, we made it 3 blocks before we broke down. Second year, 2 blocks.
2 blocks before we completely
Breaking
broke
down in a completely different way because we fixed the problem the first year.
Yeah.
Second year, we had a different problem, and then that took us out. And I always joke that, if the Millennium Falcon can do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, that means that we did 0.6 parsecs of the Lowell Kinetic Sculpture Race.
So yeah, not a great showing the last 2 years, but we are on track to redeem
Oh,
ourselves.
and it was so
this year.
devastating until I realized that, it was just our empire.
Yes.
So
for
because
sure.
we based the themes on the original trilogy. So the first one was episode 4.
All right.
The second one was episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and that one does not end well, right? So we're just like, oh, that's what happened.
This is meant to be.
That's what happened.
Is it
So
just the two of you working on this, or is there a team of
mostly,
people?
there's other people, and there've been more people because this is now a 3-year project.
Yes.
This year we're calling it Return.
year's the charm.
Return of the Falcon.
Yes,
Perfect.
Return of the Falcon.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we're we basically signed into the race as Team Lowell Makes.
Yeah.
And so we do get
The other organization that we
yeah, we do get lots of folks, different artists from Lowell Makes to help out.
What's Lowell Makes?
Excellent.
So Lowell Makes, if folks don't know, so it is a makerspace.
It is a
An incredible
space,
makerspace.
let me tell you.
It's like 40,000
Oh
square
my
feet.
gosh.
26,000 square feet.
26.
And
Seems
it's
like
in
40.
I thought it seemed like 50.
right in Western Ave, next door to Western Ave Studios. So it's like a fantastic location because you have so much creativity and
Yeah.
art and building
And
and
great
making.
energy.
Yeah, just in that area. And I'm the elevator pitch for Lowell Makes, it's like a gym membership for tools. So you become a member and you have access to everything that's in the building. So there's, a wood shop, a machine shop, a ceramics studio, 3D printing, a media lab,
Laser etching,
laser etching,
Amazing.
rapid prototyping, so CNC machining.
computer controlled routing, so you can build furniture, for example, by having a machine make all the parts. That's actually
it's pretty intense. And then like fabric arts, jewelry making. Like there's really
Something for
something
Yeah,
for
there's
if
a
you
lot to do.
are
even cosplay. So
yeah,
if you like
cosplay,
making
yeah.
costumes, there's a whole shop.
and actually I mean for the aluminum falcon, we had so much help from folks at Lowell Makes, especially on making it look like the
Yeah.
falcon. There's a lot of the folks from the cosplay shop that really just did an amazing job.
That really know how to use paint to make things look real.
Yeah. So
We learned a lot.
we
from
did.
them,
Yeah.
It's
So
such an amazing community. We had a mixer that you helped us plan.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mix
That
was a
was- no,
blast.
That was
in
that was a
May.
really fun night.
May. That was so fun, and just the energy there, and you had
Mm-hmm.
different leaders of the different shops that would, took us around and gave us a tour, and what an amazing group of people.
Mhm.
So yeah, and
That's
Rudy
what-
volunteers
yeah.
as one of the co-captains for the electronics shop,
Mhm.
and I volunteer as the marketing director for Lowell Makes. So
Great.
we actually launched a new website for them a couple of months ago.
Awesome.
That we're really proud of too. So it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
They really
You're
needed
like,
a new
yeah.
website.
Can we please do this for you? And there's a
And-
gala coming up
It-
in October.
Yeah, that's for Western Ave Studios.
Oh, okay, awesome. All right, so I thought it was for
yeah, I think
Lowell
on
Makes,
the 4th or the 2nd
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
but awesome. And then obviously you're right next door.
Right.
That's great. You guys do so much with the community, and,
Mhm.
and what
We
brought
try,
what
yeah.
brought you to Lowell?
Partially the Lowell Kinetic Sculpture Race.
Yep.
Really?
Partially the Lowell Chamber of Commerce. So
Wow.
we lived in Boston for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then we moved out because we were done living in Boston.
Yeah.
And we skipped right over all the burbs and moved to Pepperell. And if you don't
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a change.
We really needed a break.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you got one.
I always say Pepperell is an hour away from everything.
Yeah.
Because it's that far out. It's on the edge of it's in Massachusetts still, but it's on the edge of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I could take a run and end up in New Hampshire in like a mile, less than a mile. But we lived there for years until we and for the first like 3 years it felt like we were on vacation all the time because it's just like
Because it was so quiet
Yeah.
and pretty.
beautiful but then
But then none of our friends would come visit us.
yeah.
Like, hello, is anybody out there?
So we decided we wanted to move back to a city, and we knew that Boston was out of the question.
Yeah.
Because it was just
It's
too
too big.
expensive.
Yeah.
And too big. But then we started looking around near Pepperell, and there was a lot of criteria basically, and Lowell fit all of those criteria. So we're like, we should go check out Lowell, and so. We hung out here a couple times, went to lunch, like Fuse Bistro
Yeah.
is one of my faves. And then we joined the Chamber of Commerce to like talk.
Right, to start to kind of get involved in the Lowell community.
Before we even moved here, we were members for like a full year, I think, before we moved here.
we moved here.
And then we just started looking. It took like a year to find
Yeah.
the right place, which we did in the Highlands.
Yep.
And then we're just like, we could plant roots here.
Yeah,
We could
that's
really
great. Well, we're
be
fortunate that
part
you
of a
did.
community, and so far so good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because
great.
and all the other places that we had lived, like, it's not that we're insular. It's just that there just weren't a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
to be engaged in the community. If you're older and you don't go out all the time and you don't have kids,
There's
there's a very
socializing is a lot
socializing is a lot
Yeah.
harder. But in Lowell, like, we never had that problem. And what
Great.
I love, just the diversity of people, like
Mhm.
all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, the folks we interact with at the chamber and at Lowell Makes, especially,
and food, great
and
food.
great.
Yeah.
There's so much good food. And Pepperell's great. little bit limited on restaurant options.
Yeah, like I said, it's an hour away from everything. So
Right.
if you like to travel,
Right.
So do your friends come now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you could take the commuter rail.
Yeah.
And get here. So
that's great.
so yeah, my sister lives in Boston, so pretty much any time I can just hop on the train.
Yeah. Awesome.
And we, or she can hop on the train to come see me.
Lowell's also at a nexus of all the main highways in the area, so you can go south really fast if you want to. You can go east if you want to. You can go like anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. We picked the right spot for sure.
Awesome. What a great testimonial for the city that we all love so much.
Yeah, so come to Lowell. It's awesome.
And we're so glad that you did. I mean,
Oh,
like I
thank
said, you
you.
guys are just
Thanks.
fantastic people all
Yeah, we're
around.
pretty happy to be here too.
We're happy to have you here. Truly. Is there anything else that you want the listeners to know about A+R Media Studio?
Maybe just kind of a recap of what we do. So yeah, I mean, for any size business, we do branding. So full up branding programs, including, logo, messaging, et cetera, et cetera. We do print design and other graphic design for any, signage or brochures or any of that kind of stuff.
And ad design.
And ad design. We do websites, obviously, pretty soup to nuts, and custom development as well. We're not just a WordPress shop. I feel like we've been doing this for so long. There is literally no programming language Rudy has not worked in
Right.
at this point.
Very true.
So yeah,
we do online software as well.
a lot of application development,
Yeah.
a lot of website development, and what Rudy was saying earlier, like interactive development is those are the most fun.
Yeah.
Those are the most fun.
Quizzes or games, like that kind of stuff, and like web based. So
Yeah.
it's something you can embed on your site and have someone play it from there. So yeah, and then we also do a whole slate of digital marketing services too. So beyond just building a website, it's SEO, it's digital ad campaigns, it's
Video
email
production.
marketing, video production. And so, yeah, it may sound like a lot, but
If it's digital,
if it's
we do
digital,
it.
we do it.
Well, and it is certainly a lot, but it's all within the same scope. It's
Yeah.
it's digital marketing.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
And if you're a business or an organization, you have to be in that space,
Right.
or else people are gonna Google
Find
you
somebody
and not
else
see
who
you
does
and
all
they're-
those things.
Exactly. Yeah. And people like to get to know, like, and trust the businesses that they're working with, and
Mhm.
through
Mhm.
checking out a great website, social media, all of those pieces, it all comes into
Well,
play.
we get really invested in our clients. So,
Yeah, we take it kind of personally.
yeah.
Every client, we're like, no, this is our problem. This is
Yeah.
we're in this together.
Yes. We will help you solve your problems.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of working with a great team like
Mhm.
you.
Thanks.
Well, thank you both. This
Sure.
was so fun. We'll have you
Yeah.
back on again. Maybe we can take your upcoming seminar or seminar series that you're doing and make it like a podcast, so we
Mhm.
can
That would be fun.
kind of talk back and forth, and you can give your tips and information, and that would be great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I'll take you up on that
All right.
because I put you on the spot and made you say yes in front of everybody.
It's a good idea.
You know? Thank you again. It was
Sure
so
thing.
fun having you
thanks,
on.
Danielle. It was, definitely our pleasure. We're excited to come here.
Great. And thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Chamber Chat. We have a lot of podcasts coming up, so make sure that you stay tuned into Inside Lowell. Thank you so much.